In this video, I'm going to be showing you the solar panels I installed on my garage about 2 years ago. There's 4 panels on top of the garage. There's a grid-tied inverter inside it. It was very simple to do. Total time to install it was about 3 hours. And now I figured that it saves me about $200 to $210 a year in electricity. Total cost was about $1,700. And then once you get the federal and state tax incentives, I'd have a total out of cost about $900 on this. So payoff will be about 4 years. It'll be totally paid for. What other things in life do you buy that actually pay for themselves? Not much. And then after that, it's pretty much going to be about $20 to $24 a month in free electricity. So I'll bring the camera in up close, kind of show you the things in detail and talk about it as I go. Here's the grid-tied inverter that I mounted inside the garage. Now this is a PV powered, it's a PVP 1100, that's the model number. It's probably the best ones you can buy for the money. Now this is a 125 volt unit. Now so if my central air is running or anything on 220, 240, the energy from the solar panels will not be going to that. So if you need a 220 inverter, you're going to look at a bigger model than this one. This is 125 volt household current. It plugs right into an electrical outlet, and how it works is it pushes back about 128 to about 131 volts back through the line, and that will either be used throughout the house, or if the house isn't using much electricity, it goes back into the grid and it actually will run the electric meter backwards. This isn't tied into the circuit breaker like a 220 volt inverter would be. I'll show you how it plugs in here in a second. But basically you just screw the bracket on the wall. This hangs on it. It's fairly heavy. And then you've got your positive, negative, and neutral, or I should say ground wire coming down through here from the solar panels. And inside here you just connect it very easily. It's all labeled positive, negative, ground. Connect it all back together, turn the power on, and you've got solar energy. Like I said, about 3 hours total time to hook all this up. Probably the hardest thing is getting it mounted on the roof of the garage. This was simple. If you can wire an electric outlet in your home, then you can wire up one of these. It's super simple. So as far as anything else you buy in life that's going to pay you back, I can't think of much. Like I said, about 4-year payback on this, and then it's going to be free electricity. I got 4 panels. They're about 200 watts a piece, and it does about $20 to $22 a month worth of electricity. Now a couple things that I didn't know: even on a cloudy day it puts out a fair amount of electricity. Even when it's raining it puts out electricity. As long as you can see outside, it's putting out electricity. As far as sun up to sundown, usually kicks on maybe about a half hour after sun up and kicks off about a half hour before sundown. It does need some sunlight to generate electricity to get enough amps and volts to kick the inverter on. It automatically shuts off by itself when there's not enough power to keep the inverter running. It's a very cool system. So I'll bring the camera up close. I'll show you how this plugs into the outlet, and then we'll check out the panels on the roof. Okay, so right underneath here, this is the power cord to the inverter. Here's the positive, negative, and ground from the solar panels. Now here's the power cord. I got it plugged in back over here along with the refrigerator. As you can see, it's just plugged right into the outlet. It's not plugged into a circuit breaker or anything like that. Like I said, it pushes out about 130 volts into the grid, and it pushes the electric company's about 122 volts backwards. That's how a grid-tied inverter works. So we'll go take a look at the roof and show you how I mounted the panels. So there's the 4 solar panels, and I just used some aluminum angle iron I had laying around in the garage and a couple aluminum straps, and just kind of bolted it together with some 1/4-inch bolts, and then bolted it down to the roof. I put roofing sealant underneath the brackets when I bolted them down, and then you just link all of the wires together positive to negative, negative to positive. And you can see the wire here coming down. That's the positive and negative. And then I just ran it underneath the eave and inside the garage. So if you'd like to do solar panels for your home or for your garage, but you don't want to spend all that money that they're charging nowadays. For example, for a normal home, they're charging like $17,000 to put maybe 20 solar panels on with a grid-tied inverter. And then you have the federal and state tax incentives, which brings it down to maybe $5,000–6,000. If you don't want to spend that much money, like I said, I have about $900 in this unit, and I can add on solar panels, maybe 2 to 3 more, maybe in another year or so. And the solar panels are running like $150 a piece. It's fairly cheap, and you can add on kind of as you want. You can kind of get things going. This is kind of a budget-minded way to put your solar panels up. You can easily buy this and just hook up maybe 3 panels, and then add 2 or 3 as time goes on and as finances allow you to. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I thank you guys for watching.